Today I'm back in Tokyo, Japan, and I'm gonna show you my first day here, starting with a delicious breakfast of scones and matcha green tea. And it's like so strong to the taste, so I think this is gonna wake us up perfectly.
Just looking at how the bowls are laid out, the perfect green color, the scones being that green and then having the chocolate chip as well, it just looks so satisfying. So I'm excited to try my matcha too. This is like the potion to wake up right here. It literally looks like a potion. I have to eat some of these scones now, Lucille. This looks so good.
Wow.
So the first scone we have is something like a matcha mixed with what looks like, what is that, like chocolate chips there?
Maybe. Go for it. Oh wow, it is very green.
That is literally the perfect tasting scone. Like when you bite in on the inside, it's so moist, fluffy, and delicious. Like no, look at it, it's so delicious.
And on my side, I have a chocolate chip scone that's super warm, so the chocolate is like literally melting. That also looks amazing. This is so good. I love how it's warm. It tastes so good. It tastes like super fresh and homemade. I'm like very happy to be here right now.
Lucille is in chocolate heaven right now.
Our neighborhood is like pretty cool too. Last time we were not staying in this neighborhood at all, and now we're staying a bit more in the city center, so it's very lively yet super quiet because we're in a tiny street.
And it just feels so good being back here as well, because the streets are like, there's just this feel in them where you look at like an apartment building and the apartment even looks unique.
There's like so many little things that make it so special. Right now it's like the morning and we're seeing all the working people setting up shop, we're seeing the postman or different people working, and you really feel you're in some place new and it's super cool.
It just creates this themed environment that just feels so strongly Japan. So matcha, scones, beautiful little street. Perfect way to start off Tokyo.
And after this, I decided to go explore the neighborhood before meeting Bobby for sushi later. We are in the Akasaka neighborhood, which feels very central and upscale, with a lot of business people who are currently out on their lunch break. And there's also a few hidden gems. You'll see once we go up these stairs decorated with lanterns. There's this Shinto shrine gates called Tori, which are so beautiful and make me feel like we are in Kyoto. And after going all the way up to the top of the hill, we arrive to a super peaceful shrine that is in the middle of the skyscrapers and buildings, which makes for a pretty interesting contrast. And after all this walking, we're meeting back at the hotel to take a little break before having dinner in Shibuya. Our hotel is really cool and located in this super cute cobblestone street where we had our matcha this morning. The outside has this really cool wooden design, and going to our room, we have to go through this corridor which has some very unique lighting and it's super trippy. And this is our room. It's definitely super tiny, but again, we're in central Tokyo, so who cares? And it's also super well organized. So right when you enter, you can obviously see the two massive beds that are taking up all the room. And we asked for 2 twin beds because beds tend to be on the tinier side in Japan, and we're both pretty big. Then you also have a desk area where Bobby is right now, and there you have a little reading lamp, some outlets, and a tiny window with blinds. And on the other side you have a sink with a mirror, some space for a tiny fridge, and another one for tea and coffee. And one thing I really like here is they've been taking care of every single little detail. We get this tiny box with a bunch of different amenities, from a toothpaste to wash towels and even a brush. So if you forget something, there's literally everything here. The room feels super cozy and has a really cool decor. Above the bed you have a nice type of wood paneling that you can also find on the ceiling over here, and there's a bunch of different mirrors to make the room look bigger. And since it's so tiny, everything has to be optimized, so there's only a tiny bit of storage space like this one behind the door, but luckily we're both traveling pretty light and everything I brought, including my computer and my gear, fits in this tiny bag. And this bag is from the Solguard brand, which is one of my favorites and a partner of the channel. So if you use my code, you'll get a discount. But come with me and we're gonna check out my favorite part of Japanese hotels. Well, one of my favorites, because we're actually going to my favorite right after this. Here I'm obviously talking about the bathroom. In this bathroom we have the normal stuff like a bathtub, a mirror, some soap, but you see in Japanese bathrooms the toilet is where it's at. So if you didn't know it yet, Japanese toilets are very high-tech, and they even need an instruction manual to be used. They have a bunch of different settings that are pretty self-explanatory if you look at the pictures here. I'll leave you to that. So my actual favorite thing about Japanese hotels is that they always leave you this pajama, which you can then use to go to the onsen. This is a typical Japanese hot bath and perfect for relaxing after a really long flight of yesterday. And going there's a few rules to follow. The first one is that men and women bathe separately, and that you usually go naked after taking a shower, sitting sitting on this little stool. Lucky no one was there today, so I could take this video and show you how cool it is. So this is a very hot pool that's perfect for my little spa break and has a beautiful Japanese design and a really cool foggy view over a small garden. And after this refreshing break, it was time to meet with Bobby and go back to one of our favorite neighborhoods. And before that, we had to take the metro, which was a bit of an adventure in itself. So the thing is, you have to use cash to buy the tickets, and obviously we had forgotten hours at our hotel. So after a second try, we could finally buy the tickets and go through the gates, wait in line for a train which arrives super fast. Taking the Tokyo Metro is by far the fastest and cheapest way to explore the city, with our ticket today costing only $1.50. And it's always super fun to take the metro when you're in such a big city, since you can be part of the local daily life and just do normal things, which I strangely love when I'm traveling. And right now we're sitting at Shibuya Station, and you've probably heard about this neighborhood because of the iconic Scramble Crossing, which is known as the busiest pedestrian crossing in the world. And it is absolutely massive and super chaotic, yet super organized too. And we haven't been in Tokyo in so long, so it is pretty fun to get to cross it again, because you really get a feel of how many people live and work here. And according to Google, that's around 38 million people who live in Tokyo's metropolitan area, making it the largest city in the world. And coming here feels so different than where we're staying. There's a way younger crowd and a lot of people who are very well dressed, so it's pretty fun to just walk around and people watch in the super busy streets. And being super central, Shibuya is popular with locals who come here to go shopping and go to restaurants. And we're going to do the exact same thing, starting with shopping at Donkey, which is a massive discount store that's truly an institution in Japan and has a cute penguin mascot. Today we are at one of the biggest stores, the Mega Donkey, which is 7 floors of random stuff and sensory overload. When you go to a Donkey, you need a game plan, or you can easily get lost. We're here for 2 different floors, the first one being the one with all the snacks, and there's everything you can dream of here, like a giant Kit Kat bar, a wall full of green tea pocky, and even these fun vending machines. Now let's take the rainbow escalator for our favorite floor, where you can find a bunch of different games like this Lego set with the Shinkansen, which is Japan's high-speed rail, as well as some questionable costumes like this one. And I mostly love to come to this floor for all the products with my favorite Japanese characters on them, which make for a cool small gift to bring back home. And I went with a few Totoro products since it's one of my favorite movies. Now let's go out and eat dinner in one of these tiny alleyways, which are super lively and where there's a lot of bars and restaurants. Last time we were here in Tokyo, we went out around here, but today we are super hungry, so we are going to this Conveyor belt sushi spot. And just arriving there, it's already so different from anything you can find in Europe or the US. As you can see, people are facing the conveyor belt and are seated either alone or in small groups of 2 and separated by privacy screens. This is because conveyor belt sushi is considered a cheap and quick meal in Japan, and it's often found in busy places like train stations. You see a bunch of stuff passing in front of you. It's very entertaining.
It's cool because it shows you like examples of other things you can order on the menu.
Yeah, so let's do a bunch of ordering here because I am so hungry.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I think we're gonna eat everything on the menu.
Oh yeah, I'm ready to eat. So how it works here is that you have an iPad with a bunch of different options, and they're super well priced and start at $1 for 2 pieces of sushi. You can then add them to your cart and then press order, and then it's sent directly to the kitchen. And while you wait for it to arrive on the conveyor belt, you can enjoy the free green tea since there's a hot water dispenser and unlimited green tea powder. And yes, we got a bit too excited here and ordered so much food.
I've ordered 7 rolls in the last 2 minutes, so yeah, there's that. Oh, I think something's coming. Thank you.
Everything is arriving at the same time. Oh wow.
Oh my god.
Is that for you too?
There's so many things.
Oh no.
There's so many.
I think we went a bit overboard with this one. Everything arrived at the same time, so now we have 10 different types of sushis in front of us. I don't remember what I ordered, I don't remember what Bobby ordered, but we have so much stuff. The first one I'm gonna try here is like definitely this one, which is a salmon with yuzu. It seems really cool. This is so good. Like, I'm so happy we're doing that because sushi tastes so different when you're in Japan. Everything tastes super fresh, and obviously you get some stuff you wouldn't get back home too, so Really love that.
I don't know if we got everything we ordered. I don't know what we ordered. We just ordered anything that looked good. What is this? It's like mayonnaise, black stuff, and shrimp. My first sushi in Japan. It's so good.
Yeah, this is so much better than any sushi you can eat anywhere else in the world.
Alright, I don't know what this is. I think it's like a red snapper fish or something like that.
Go for it.
The freshness of the fish here is just absolutely insane. Like this is like supposed to be like a cheap sushi place.
A lot of the dishes we ordered are like between $1 and $1.50, I think. On my side I have some kind of grilled salmon. Oh, I'm so happy we ordered so much. It's so good.
And it's awesome as well, like on the side having like green tea as well. Cheers.
Cheers.
Unlimited.
I'm gonna try one of Bobby's crazy orders, which is this green sushi thing. I have no idea what this is, but it's good.
I think it's really cool because it's a place that you could like come to at any occasion, right? You could come here, you know, for a quick snack. You could come here for an actual meal before going to maybe a really nice restaurant to like fill up or something like that because you're gonna like
not... the restaurant.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This place works on all occasions because it's so fast. It's fairly cheap and very delicious.
I love sushi, but like once you've eaten sushi in Japan, there's like no turning back. And this is like cheap sushi, just so delicious. And after this, we decided to finish up eating and stack our plates to see how much we ordered. We ate a total of 22 plates at an average cost of $1.15 per plate. And that's how we ended our first day in Tokyo. See you in the next video.